Hello, and welcome to another installment of Connect with Carla B. Today, I have the pleasure and the privilege. I got to use words like that when I'm talking about this particular guest because she will fight me. She's a little sister who will fight. And here's what she is, let's call her the boss of the entrepreneurs of the cottage industry businesses here in my city. She's electrifying in terms of what she's been able to do. And I mean, she's always one step ahead. So if I said Saturday and shopping, you'd put it all together and you would know that I'm speaking of none other than Miss Renee Edwards. So hello, Renee, and welcome to Do Not Give Me Any Slack right now. The way you're looking at me.
I'm going to be nice to you today. It's Wednesday.
So Renee and I are going to call this Connect with Carla B Take 3 because the first one we were trying to do it, and I mean, it was pouring, raining, but we had so much fun just laughing in the rain. Like we needed it. We're two hardworking women. So we needed that. But today we get the tranquility of sitting on the bench, on a bench swing, and we can multitask, but we're here for you today. So Renee.
Yes.
Would you introduce yourself to us? Like, who is Renee Edwards?
Okay, good question. Renee Edwards is a mom of 3 adult children, the owner, founder, CEO of Saturday Shops, with the Saturday Shops Vendor Academy, as well as the president of KB Dollhouse and the president of First Class Adventure Shuttle. Also the president of Jordan & Jordan Water Sports.
Well, first of all, I love the water. What is Jordan & Jordan Water Sports? Because I don't know that I know what that is.
That's my brother's company where he does boating and jet skis.
Why did I not know this? My nephew was in town. We jet skied off the causeway on the Tampa side. I need to know that I have these kind of relationships.
You have those relationships. We have 4, and he has a boat where you can do fishing, or we can just hop out and enjoy. Yeah.
Well, first of all, Renee, I'm coming along as a guest of Renee, and we're gonna go jet skiing.
And we don't pay.
And we don't pay. We play, and we need a little bit of playing right now.
Right.
So like already, I have more information. How can people find out even about that company? How do
JordanandJordan.com.
Well, there it is.
He does hauling and dumping. He does landscaping. That guy's a whole
enterprise.
Thing. Yeah, that guy's a whole thing. Yeah.
I love that, and I'm surprised. So I'm going to tell him that you need to do a better job of promoting him, because shame on me for not knowing.
I don't work for him.
You're the president. You do work for him.
I'm the president. I do invoicing. But his marketing and advertising is on him.
Ooh.
As well as KB Dollhouse and First Class Adventures.
Wow. So KB Dollhouse, I know because I'm a customer. Frequent customer. And I feel like I get the auntie discount. I didn't even know I was getting hooked up the way I was getting hooked up. But I'm grateful that your daughter gives me special pricing. I think it's really sweet. And I mean, she's very enterprising because she clearly has a pulse on this younger demographic and the clothes they like. And I mean, anytime she puts up something new, and plus her promotions for her garments, like the model she has the clothes in, herself as a model for the garments. Yeah. I was in there, people coming from Bradenton, Sarasota, Tampa, like they are driving over to get her
stuff. And they'll come in and like have their phone and go like, where's this outfit?
Yeah.
Like,
Because-
it's just that simple. I'm like, it's right there. You know, what size do you need? A lot of her customers tell her they love me in the store. They love my energy. They love my vibe. She hates it, but
no, they don't. Renee.
they
don't.
do. I'm telling you.
Oh, let me tell you why they love her energy and her vibe. When Renee is there, bottles getting poured.
It's sip and shop if I'm there. Sip and shop.
So Renee's like popping bottles and people are shopping. But yeah, it's not a place you go and buy one outfit or one garment. You're like literally building a cart, if you will.
Right.
So I love that. And then you talked about the transportation.
Yes, we do a no bully zone. Children's transportation, door to door. So we may pick up Ray from your house, but in the afternoon we may be dropping them off to your grandma's house.
Oh, wow.
And we focus on children's safety. The slogan is safe, reliable, and affordable.
You know, I can't help but think, you say that and I'm thinking Renee Edwards, the mogul. Are we there yet? Are we at Renee Edwards, the mogul?
No, we still have a couple more things that we got to do. Right now we're working on e-commerce site, Everyday Shops, which will be more like an Afrozone, as well as retail stores in all of the cities where we have the market. We're expanding on educating the small business. So basically what we're going to be doing is, as you continue in the phases of the Vendor Academy, we'll have your product in different places.
Yeah.
You can't learn to grow without actually practicing the skills. So through my life, I've learned that. Through my daughter's progression, I've learned you have to have a place to practice the skills. My daughter has never been an employee until last year that she started truck driving.
Right.
Wow. I mean, that's on the horizon, to own, semi-trucks. That's definitely coming. But now she's working for a company because you have to get so many hours of driving. Right. Hopefully within the next 2 months she'll be done because it's somewhat of a year, process. But we're learning, like, transitioning. And that's something I want to teach the vendors.
Wow.
We got to transition from the hustle to a business.
Where did this entrepreneurial spirit come from? Because you have it, your daughter has it, your brother clearly has it. And
my other brother has a clothing line, Stingy World clothing line.
Okay.
And he's also into those expensive designer cars. So he has one of those that right now I'm selling it for $250,000 if anyone's interested. It's a 71 Chevelle.
Oh, wow.
With all the bells and whistles and fixes and all that stuff. But the entrepreneurial spirit came from one morning. I was up watching like infomercials, like 4 a.m. And Warren Buffett said, you will work till you die if you don't learn how to make money in your sleep.
That's right.
That changed me. That changed me. My goal initially, as you remember, Skin Candy.
Yes.
The first time I started making money when I wasn't there was Miss Annie.
Yes.
Miss Annie. So I saw then what you can really do.
Right. So while you're working, you also have something happening for you that you put in place. And so you're making your money at work and other money.
And you're going to pick up a check. And so once you see that, and imagine had I pushed that times 20, I would have really, been in the way and started really making, good money. But things changed and I started Saturday shops in the pandemic.
Right in the middle of a pandemic. Sure enough.
And Bishop Sykes, I'll never forget him. He gave me my first start. My goal was just to pay my house payment and my car payment. Right. That was it. It was never to be what it is.
Right.
It was never to be.
It was a supplemental income.
That's it. It was
a once a month event.
I wanted once a month, $2,500. That's it. And 2 years later, I'm retired.
Wow. So wait, so that was 2021?
We started April 3rd, 2021 at Bishop Sykes Church.
And
we
you know his
moved to
church
Tropicana June 5th of that same year because we
you had
outgrew the
outgrew
church.
the space.
Right.
And yeah, I just got a text from him. Their church is having their 100th anniversary.
It's October.
I was like, what? That, you know, we have some older churches in our city, but I didn't realize that one was that old.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the vendor academy,
Mm-hmm.
you have the Saturday shops in the Skyway Marina District,
Yes,
and Tropicana, and you're doing something in Clearwater.
We're adding a different location for Tampa.
Okay.
And we've also partnered with Simon. Simon has 266 malls.
Okay, so Simon, the company that owns and operates the mall.
So our goal is Tampa Premium, Tyrone Mall, and Ellington Outlets.
Wow. To be able to have vendors inside or outside?
Outside,
okay.
But how easy is it for you to see yourself with the table outside and then in the store inside? I have to plant that seed.
Right.
As long as you can see it, you can believe it, and you'll achieve it.
Right.
So that's my goal for that.
Where is the creativity coming from? Because, you know, like I said, you always seem to be ahead of the curve. It's like you don't sleep. Like your grind is real. Like your drive is so.
It all comes from me. It comes from life experiences. Had someone held my hand through what I went through with skin candy, who knows where it would be now? Okay. So my goal is to make sure that happens for vendors. Like people say, oh, you did all of this to put them in the chamber store. You didn't make a dime. It wasn't the money.
Right.
Those 5 people now believe more in their product than they did before.
Yeah, that was a big, I remember going to the launch of your product at the
2017
in the chamber store. And at that time, I believe it was the first black product in the St. Pete chamber store. And then they say each one teach one.
Right.
Then you were able to build a brand to the point of then helping 5 other vendors to get into that store 6 years later.
And that's the crazy part, because during that gap, no other minority businesses.
6 years.
Yeah.
And then the same person who was the first had to reach back and bring the 5. Is your product still there?
No.
So that's interesting. So I love that you're not competing with your vendors.
No.
Because I buy products all the time from your vendors. And like I'm able to, sometimes I do compare because your product, I remember always saying, man, this woman does this with excellence because she has just the packaging, the everything about how your product, the scents, the oil, the sugar, and it's my daughter's favorite. So she was a little miss. Gotta take a bath, and I gotta have my skin candy. So it was that used to be her reward for anything. Now it has to be candles. Candles is her reward for things. So you have this vision. You start first is just Saturday shops because it was one Saturday a month. Now I feel like you almost have something every.
We're almost somewhere every weekend, and it's amazing.
How many vendors do you think in this span of time you've been able to give opportunities to?
We have 1,700 vendors in our portal.
Wow.
1,700.
1,700.
And about 400, I can say, will book at least 6 times a year.
Oh, wow. Yeah, these are impressive numbers. Now, I know in November, you have a big event coming up here in St. Petersburg, the first of its kind, especially based on the geographic area that you've decided to host that event. Tell us about that.
That event, right now, I have to change the date due to scheduling conflict with my partners, Tampa Bay Raised. I'm looking like November 18th it'll be.
Okay.
Also, what we're trying to do is create such a huge market for minority and women-owned businesses to see $3,000 to $5,000 days.
Right.
Imagine if you can make $3,000. Imagine if 250 vendors made $5,000. That's a huge economic impact.
Yeah, it is.
So that's the goal for that. And we want to get at least 10,000 people out there that day.
I love it. And where is it going to be?
It's going to be under the underpass on 16th Street and 5th Avenue South.
16th and 5th. Are you moving towards 22nd?
Yep, we're going to block it off from 5th all the way to 22nd.
Wow. And then have just women and minority-owned vendors lining. What percentage do you have a sense of what percentage of your current database of 1,700 actually is part of that demographic?
I would say right now we are about 60% women, 40% minority.
Oh, okay. That's a beautiful. So yeah. So that's.
And we have about 150 Hispanic.
Okay,
vendors.
so the Latinx market as well. So you have. So you're the You're the woman. You're the woman.
I've been, I guess, designated to do this work.
Yeah,
it's hard for a lot of these vendors to get into other spots because of the rules, because of the fees. So the Saturday shops is more of a learning market.
So like, I think what that does for us, those of us that keep talking about how we want to support Black-owned businesses or we want to support small business, I think what it should say to us is make a special effort to come out and just buy from a couple of vendors. Make that, I could tell you, if you use soap, they sell soap. If you use lotion, they sell lotion. If you use lip gloss, if you use makeup, if you need clothes. I mean, there's a little bit of everything, certainly cakes and sweets and treats.
Definitely.
But there's, and food and barbecue and, different contests and a DJ and music. So there's like this energy that's around this particular event where if you just simply show up and lend your support, sometimes your support, it's no different than if you go into a large department store. Nobody's checking you at the door to see, don't come if you're not planning to buy. It's a free event. So you should at least what they call pull up on it and, see what's there. And then you never know. It may become your favorite item to purchase. There's normally a cigar setup. Like you name it, it is there. And I think this is the new model to make to entry for small businesses, because many people may be creating at home and don't have a distribution channel. And you've essentially created a distribution channel for these vendors.
Right, because they need it. I mean, we also have a business directory on our site where you can support vendors if you even cannot come out. You can click on our business directory and there are over 200 vendors listed there.
What's the website? We'll make sure we say it a few times.
SaturdayShops.com, and shops is SHOPPES.
SaturdayShops.com. And on any given market, your parents are there. Tell us about them.
They are there. My parents sell produce and beverages. My parents been married 47 years.
Wow.
47 years. And my dad's retired. So this supplements his income.
Right.
And my mom just like to be out there. Like whatever money she makes, she spends it supporting vendors. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, oh, the guy's there with the conch. I'm like, okay. Oh, the peanut guy's here. Oh, I need popcorn to go home. I'm like, geez, lady.
But this is her. She's supporting. She's putting money. But this is what we call dollar circulation.
Right.
So, because you're absolutely right. When vendors are out there, they have to eat.
They have to eat.
So for the food vendors, that's their first customers.
Is the other vendors, right?
And then, hopefully it's all reciprocal. So you have all this economics occurring, and it's probably and you also typically have youth and teen vendors.
Yes, we do have some youth and teen vendors. We have Jay's, who makes the spice. We have a couple of lemonade kid vendors. Right now, we have a couple of kids that came for August 5th for our backpack giveaway, and they had clothing and everything.
Oh, wow.
I mean, some of these kids are really, really, really with it. I had a conversation with one of my colleagues, Toriano Parker, and he asked me why I don't do more to support the youth. And in my opinion, a youth vendor is only as successful as the parent's wallet.
Facts.
So I don't think it's fair to put a youth in a situation where their parent is struggling, because then their booth and their product and everything else will suffer with that parent.
Because they have to pick up the slack, as they say.
Right.
And they also have to be, there's a saying that says parents are your first teachers. So they have to be the ones to teach that young person the acumen. And if they don't have it to do, it's a direct reflection on how the business presentation and everything else. Talk to us a little bit more about what the Vendor Academy itself is about, and like how many weeks is it? What do vendors get to learn? And can you be a part of the Vendor Academy if you're not someone who has vended at Saturday shops?
If you've never vended with us, you cannot be a part of the Vendor Academy. If you're still a startup or a thought, you may want to reach out to the greenhouse. You have to be prepared to set up and have vended to be able to come to the class. Reason being is, if you don't know how to sell, or if your product hasn't made $1, you're not our student.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there are programs for you, but you're not our student. We have 3 phases of the Vendor Academy. Phase 1 is the beginner. Phase 1 is the first 6 weeks of LLC, business banking, all that stuff. Phase 2 is your products on the shelf. And now we're working on UPC codes, grade A labeling, what's selling, what's not selling. Are you priced to be in the retail industry? Because at St. Pete Visitor Store, it's a 60-40 split.
Okay.
So if you sell 20 items and you give them 40%,
right?
Did you make money?
Right.
With your costs and all of that stuff.
Right.
So we teach all of that, which is a 6 months course. And then, which is starting in Q2 of 2024, will be the e-commerce and the retail store.
Oh, wow. So how often are the vendors meeting?
We meet once a month for cohort 2, but for the beginning, it's once a week for 6 weeks.
Okay. And then they go through. So this is, you talked about some of this, needing the hand holding beyond just, okay, you've graduated and
don't
there's
work
no follow
like
up
that.
and follow through, and you don't still have the source to tap to get the necessary support.
Right.
So I see you designed this kind of almost based on the frustrations you've had.
With no one able to help me. No one could say, what do you do with a skincare product?
Right.
No one could say, what's next for me? And basically, you pretty much got to go around and beg people to put yourself on consignment, because no one sees the value in bulk purchasing.
Okay.
But if I can get some of these vendors in 4 or 5 stores and they're building themselves, maybe you can do a direct purchase to Publix or to Walmart or to Target.
I got to ask you, it's a 2-part question. What does failure look like? What could happen that makes you feel like you didn't succeed at your goal?
What failure looks like sometimes, like this summer, we had it really, really tough. I lost maybe $30,000 in marketing because I was working against heat temperatures of feel like 120 degrees.
Right.
I mean, when the news is telling you to stay inside,
right?
Do you go to an outside event on asphalt?
Right.
Of course you don't. So this summer was really, really tough for us. So anytime things don't go right for me, I think of a way to make it better. So for 2024, we're doing summertime nights.
Okay.
You just got to transition.
Right. So that's what I was going to ask you about, was lessons learned.
And you have to learn from each system. Like now, I get so many people inviting me to places. You want to pop up here? You want to set up here?
Right.
I'm okay with saying no.
Right.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Facts.
Now I want large partnerships to where my vendors can really exceed. So that Simon partnership is great.
So it's always putting the vendors first,
You have to
making
put them
decisions
first.
with them in mind. And then I couldn't ask that question and not ask, what does success look like? What would make you feel like I've arrived?
That would make me feel good if I had a complete year and every event had at least 3,000 to 5,000 people in attendance. That's success for us.
So 3,000 to 5,000 people
in attendance.
And how do you make that happen? What do you think you need to do to make that? Or what are you doing?
What I'm working on is creating some annual sponsorships.
Okay.
A couple of large companies that are okay with sponsoring annually, so we can really ramp up our marketing budget.
So it's all about
the marketing.
And you could, what did it say? You have to, and each dollar has to be spent wisely.
Right.
And you have to figure out like how much return are you getting on some of this marketing budget. Have you, is Spectrum?
And that's the thing. There's no guarantees in marketing.
Right. So that's why the best partner is a marketing partner.
Right.
Like a Spectrum or something like that can constantly flow ads on Baby Time or something. You always seem to have your hand in so many things. Like I don't think people here locally know that you've gone other places to do markets outside of Florida. Tell us about the market that you do in Georgia.
Atlanta, we do it at Gwinnett County Fairgrounds. Atlanta has a different type of crowd. Atlanta, Black supporting Black, they know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
Here locally, not so much. But in Atlanta, we partner. I'm always there when the gun show is there.
Okay.
The gun show is guaranteed 6,000 to 10,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Couple months, I finally learned my lesson. You do not do an event at the fairgrounds if you're by yourself.
Okay.
You just don't. The gun show doesn't have food trucks or anything. So anytime they're there, we share their customer base.
Got it.
So that's what I'm looking at more of, partnering with split events.
Right.
So we're sharing customers and all of the marketing dollars don't have to come from me.
That's so like tremendous wisdom and lessons.
I've learned that over the years. Yeah, it's tough because creating an event space for yourself and you're doing it monthly is a hard pill if there's nothing else bringing people out.
Facts.
That's why the mall partnerships for setting up at the malls and places where they're already experiencing traffic only works.
And when we look at, so I think first, Atlanta has a very large middle to upper income minority base.
Agreed.
And we simply don't have that here just based on household income, percentage of minorities that actually live here. There's concentrated pockets, but it's still not as massive as like in Atlanta. What could a partnership like that look like here?
What that would look like here is if we had more people that wanted to bring, buses of different people from different cities.
Right.
Like the Candy Low.
Yep.
What if she brought 5 buses with 200-300 Black people and they just pulled up and shopped? What does that look like?
Right. So that type of partnership.
Those are the type of partnerships.
Let's make it easy for you to cross the bay. You're right on the other side of the bay.
Right.
Because I'm actually this is going to be the first one I'm attending. We'll check your calendar, see if you can
Her
go
Black
with
bus tour? I went once.
Okay. Okay. So, but that's impressive how many years that she's been doing that. That's like amazing because, sustainability, being able to sustain
And it's been tough through COVID.
Mm-hmm. But you started during COVID, so like there's nothing that could take you out.
No,
you know what
no.
I mean?
But I will say 2021, half a year, that crowd I had was a phantom crowd. It wasn't my truth.
Okay.
And people were one and done.
Okay. You mean the customers?
The customers, they were one and done.
Well, a lot of people were dying to just get out, and now here was something new to get out to. So it was really like a family reunion type environment.
It was.
Because people hadn't seen people in a long time, and there was nowhere for you to really go. And here's this big outdoor opportunity for people to get together.
Right.
And so that's what we were all taking advantage of.
And that's why now the partnerships, like as Saturday, I'll be with SPC, Clearwater. We're on Drew Street. We're off of US 19. Those are the types of things that help only bring people out. So I'm excited about Saturday.
And so let's see. The water business from your brother. Yeah. Name that again.
That's my favorite. Jordan & Jordan Water Sports.
Jordan & Jordan Water Sports. I'm not playing with you. We're going out on the water.
I got so much stuff of us on the boat. And also I'm a master captain. He made me get my captain license.
What? So let me see. You're a master captain. Your daughter knows how to drive trucks.
She got her CDL.
Wait. What is going? Your brother sells high-end $250,000 cars. Wait a minute. Is it the networks calling? Is there a show in the making?
I hope so. My brother is the one who has this expensive car. He's a handful, this guy. But I love him. I'll keep him.
We'll definitely put a picture of the car in this particular episode because I want to see what a $250,000 car looks like. Wow.
Now you see it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What they call it? To taste.
I mean, and this car,
you gotta have that level of taste and the means to do. What?
Immaculate under the hood.
What color is that? Just a gold car?
Yes. I mean, it's amazing. And
wow.
I mean, everywhere he goes, it's the center of attention. And right now I'm working on a deal for Chevrolet to host it in the showroom for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
that's his thing. He loves that stuff.
So you left your high-paying job. You left all of that. You're fully doing this. Are your parents proud?
They never say it, but I think so.
Okay.
They old school, you know.
Yeah. Yes. Where's the job?
My mom does say though. The last time I was on the news, she missed it, right? And she's like, "It'll be another one next week."
Oh.
I'm like,
are people stopping them? Are they now
the Saturday Shops?
Are they now
mom.
The parents of, and not you're the daughter of?
And my daughter hates that. She hates being Renee's daughter.
Why?
She wants her own lane. She hates being Renee's daughter. And
she has certainly forged it. Kara, we are proud of you for sure. She
definitely
is that under 30 boss lady. And she's, I mean, I watch how she tries to manage her business even while she's on the road. Yeah.
And I have a lot that I have to do when it comes to her own business. We do a lot of FaceTime. We do a lot of, this morning we were on the phone for over an hour, strategizing. We did a Labor Day sale to online shoppers. I mean,
wow.
Every day.
Always.
Every day.
How do you, Renee, make time for yourself? How do you make time for yourself?
Well, I'll tell you this. I think I made enough time in my 20s and my 30s for myself.
Okay.
So now it's time to get a lot of stuff locked in before I'm 50.
Okay.
So some people think, 50 is a long way if you're 47. It's really not. Right. These calendars flip around before you know it. Oh my God. So what I do, I will say, is after 8 p.m., I do not work.
Okay. That is a great practice.
You know me. You and I used to be up at 5 a.m. on the phone. I'm up so early that after 8 p.m., it's nothing. Yeah.
shut it down.
I'm gonna do some TV, or I'm gonna do some reading or something of that nature, but it's nothing for I'm not working after 8 p.m.
So tell us about the events that you have coming up.
Oh my God.
Because I feel like I know I just saved 3 that's coming up.
Sometimes
and then
I
was
forget
looking
them.
to see because I wanted to post, and I'm like, but this one I think is not till November. So tell us about what's coming up.
What's coming up next is Saturday. We're at St. Pete College. After that is the Health and Wellness Expo.
Oh yeah, you
the
did
Health
that
and
last
Wellness,
year in
yes.
October.
And we're partnered with Optum Baycare this year. The Health and Wellness Expo is more important to me than anything in the world, because bad health, is awful in our community.
So, but what was the driver behind?
The driver
full
behind
driver
it is
behind
my high school sweetheart.
Okay.
At 42, is on dialysis.
Wow.
For lack of being tested for hypertension. My grandmom died early from diabetes. I suffer from hypertension. Basically, I just had a health scare. Shout out to Shay Brown for my cholesterol. She's like, Renee, your cholesterol is coming back with no number. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you better do something. You got that under control. So if you're not getting tested regularly, or if your doctor won't run a full panel, you have no idea what's going
on in
your body. And I know my cholesterol was elevated due to fried food and pasta.
Wow.
And soda. So I've made quite a few lifestyle changes. I've lost 9 pounds in the process. So it's just making better changes. I mean, doing better things to be healthy. So that's what I want to promote. And that's just a part of me that I think.
And I know that I think last year, what was really important to you was men's health.
The black men do not go to the doctor. And we got to be okay with a colonoscopy.
Right.
No one says you're, gay if you're getting tested. You got to get tested. Yeah, the doctor's going to have to go through that area.
Yeah.
But you got to get over it and get it done. And a lot of us have this
your life depends on it.
Totally. And I don't know any black male over 50 that has had that check and they didn't find something.
Oh, wow.
Whether it was small pileups or whatever the case, they found something. Whether it was enlarged prostate, anything.
Shout out for sure to Gypsy. I'm seeing like she's doing like a serious rundown. I think I got the email for Power Broker, and I'm literally looking down the list, and I'm like, man, event. A lot of stuff that I wasn't aware of.
Gypsy is good about also sharing my stuff. Gypsy was one of the founding people of Skin Candy.
Oh, wow.
My first bio was written by Gypsy. Wow. Gypsy was the person who, when I kept telling her the St. Pete Visitor Store was telling me no, she was one of the fighters for them to say yeah.
So she literally did the advocacy. And I mean, she's one of those behind the scenes people in our area. You don't see her. She is darn near a recluse. But she is always grinding
and fighting it out for us who don't have the voice.
Yeah,
that's when I learned people and partnerships is more important than anything. You can have all the money in the world, but your partnerships will make you a millionaire.
So we know you and I could sit here and talk all day, and we also know you and I have so much to do in any given day. So I want to thank you. I want to tell folks to go on SaturdayShops.com. Remember, SHOPPES.com, and get more information about the Saturday Shops. And then I think it's like a hub and spoke, so then you'll know all about the other fingers of what she does. So I'm trusting that we left you with a few bits and bites to chew on. If you know any vendors that are looking for, and that's the other thing, her markets are so reasonably priced, it makes it accessible for just anyone at any level to participate.
Right.
So let's help this market continue to grow. And thank you, little sister. She don't like to hear that. For spending some time with us
I'm a
and
grown
leaving,
lady.
little sis, for spending some time with us and giving us a few nuggets, bits and bites to chew on. Until next time.